My name is Hemant Oberoi and I am a chef. The thing I know best is cooking, so I try to spread joy through my food. I want not only the taste of food to capture imaginations, but also the sound, the look, the feel, and the scent. That's what motivates me to experiment with the food. Now, people's expectation from me has reached sky high. But there are times in my life where even my skills were tested to its limits. Those times when I was asked to cook for internationally traveled connoisseurs of food and styles, celebrities who are used to the best and the finest. What could one cook for them has indeed been a challenge. That's when I had to dive into my innermost creativity and outdo even my best. It's in these circumstances that I have come out with some of my most celebrated dishes. So let me share my experiences and journeys into some of my most iconic dishes. If you ever fear in life, you can never achieve. I think when you go with a positive mind, everything is achievable. And the fear of the failure is the biggest fear in life, which should never come in anybody's mind. Since family is very important to everybody, and when we came to know that Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt are visiting us, and their family too was dining with us, so I thought, let me create a menu which suits the family, which creates a palette for the family and make them happy. We were told that most probably they will just have one dinner, and that dinner has to be a memorable one for them. When I was doing the research work, I knew they liked the things. Angelina Jolie, she can change her mind every day about the food, and she likes some of the Western food. Some days it is the salad, some days it is just the soups. Someday it might be just a light Japanese. But at the same time, we found out that they love truffles in one form or the other. So we thought, why not? Why not get the best truffles in the world? Truffles, as you know, it is very rare thing. It doesn't grow everywhere. It has an affinity towards special trees in the forest, and it needs a special kind of a soil. So it is very few areas where this fungus will grow, and it is mostly in, if you see, in the Tuscany area or in France, where the black and the white truffles grow. Wow. So we have these fresh truffles, freshly flown in from Italy for the VVIP guest. So let's get going. Let's get the things done.
Yeah.
Can you get some chopped onions done?
Sure,
huh?
sure.
Can you get the rice and the stock done up? Huh?
Yes, sir.
And let's start. Huh? Yeah. Let's move. You have to be very careful about truffles. Truffle is such a delicate thing in life that it cannot go with all the foods. You have to choose the right kind of a food, whether it's a pasta or a risotto, where when you shave it, the fresh truffles, only then at the last minute you have to do the shavings to bring out the best flavors. And there's no other food, if you put it on top of the meat or the fish at the last minute, it doesn't give that kind of a flavor, what it brings out in the risotto or the pastas. What we are going to do is a little bit of the roasting of the rice. I want to do a slow fire. I've already made a paste of some of the truffles. I'm going to use this as also a part of the cooking. I didn't want to go overboard in the first courses. They are seen the best in the world. Sometimes it is nice to have a locally grown vegetables done in a very different way. Sometimes these people are very scared of the greens to be eaten outside the country. So we were avoiding the fresh leaves and everything. Everything had to be cooked. When I took over as executive chef, I said, what I have to do is bring the best of the luxury to this place. I went around to Tuscany area, did truffle hunting myself to see the truffles, brought the truffles from there. And there was a funny incident that they gave me two nice big truffles of 200 grams each at the last minute. And I reached Frankfurt airport and suddenly sniffer dogs were all over my suitcase, sniffing, and suddenly police comes with everything, guns and everything, open suitcase, open this. They thought it was a grenade kind of a thing in the x-rays. And then I had to open out this thing. They put it in the x-ray machine to see what the actual is. I said, these are truffles, to make them understand. It took me a little bit of time. And then they realized that this is something edible and it's not a grenade. And I was allowed to take my connecting flight.
Chef, what would be the approximate cost of the fresh truffles which we procure?
Everything good in life is expensive. Approximately in the world, it is about 3,800 to 3,900 euros per kilo. It is. Okay. So it is pretty expensive. When we were making the food for them, and one of my guys went to shave the truffles, and Brad Pitt looked back, Chef, how the hell did you know that we love truffles? I said, we did some R&D for before you people come. And I think he told the server, please keep on doing the shavings on top of my food. And don't stop it till I say yeah. one of the travels in Spain, I had seen these cans. It looked like the cans in which you put the camembert cheese or the brie cheese. You just open the can, flip it up. I said, if they can do this, why can't I do something fresh, seal it, steam it, or cook it in that, and serve it fresh to the customer so that the aromas will remain within that. So we brought few cans, started the trials. It took us a lot of time to ensure that, what has to be put in fresh, what has to be sealed, how aromas have to come, what we put inside, and so that the aromas will come out more during the cooking, so that it goes in front of the guests. There has to be a story behind the entire food. It should not be that the guest says, oh, they have opened a can and given us the food. It would have been a canned product which people hate in life. First, we have to understand the sealing. We have to understand that even if this thing is sealed, can it be steamed? Can be put in the oven? How can we cook it to give the aroma to the guest? How much time will it take? So first we put in raw. It was taking too long a time. Then we did about 60% done or 70% done. And then it was reheating. I said, let's keep it to 60%, so the 40% of the aroma will come at the last minute. So we did the various percentage trials. And when we achieved the final one, that was a different ballgame. Morning, dear. Morning.
Chef, I'm just making some mushroom mixture for the ravioli with some fresh tomato.
Keep only about this much.
Yes.
And if you want to use, just chop up the rest of it. The shimeji, if you know, it's a very, very Japanese mushrooms. This is the cluster of mushrooms which, when it comes to you, and it's not very advisable to use it raw ever in the salads or anything. So you have to cook them. Abhishek, in the meantime, can you just take the oats, just crush them, flatten them out, and then you will take the butter, clarified butter, on a very slow fire. Just keep it stirring it till it becomes like a light brown and fragrant. In India, people were not even aware of the kind of mushroom, beside the button mushroom or the morels. So I thought, let me bring about 3 different mushrooms. And shimeji is a kind of mushroom which is grown only in Asia, if you see. It doesn't get mashed up, and the crunchiness will come. So let people enjoy that crunchiness, even when it is steamed or cooked. So that's why I brought these 3 different mushrooms into the food, and we made it into a ravioli form. We have to make bacon and sage butter on a low temperature. Put the walnuts first. Let the nutty taste come of the bacon nut. And in the last minute, we'll put the sage. This is the Bajaj Majesty induction plate. This can work wonders. It has got 240 degrees temperature. You can use it for cooking, frying. You can do anything on this. It's beautiful. We didn't want to mask the ravioli or the beautiful mushrooms with a sauce or something. We wanted the clarified butters and a beautiful nutty taste to the whole thing. That's how we created this dish. What we are going to do is, We are going to put the ravioli into these cans one by one. This is the pecanut butter which is already there. I'm putting some more fresh leaves so that once we seal the cans, see it's already sealed, and now we'll put this in the Bajaj steamer and we'll cook it with a lid on for about 6 minutes. Everything, once it is hidden and suddenly you open it, it opens a Pandora box kind of a thing, and you are in for a surprise. So that's the feeling everybody gets in the can. When the moment you open the can, it is the aroma which comes to your thing. It is the espuma. It is truffle espuma, and then the crunchiness of the oats which is in the plate. You are biting into that first. Then suddenly you see the nutty butter taste coming. It's hitting your nose. Then you're biting into the ravioli and you feel the three different mushrooms. One is little cooked, one has got a crunchiness. Then you're utterly buttery, melted butter is going into your this thing, and you're suddenly getting the pecan nut and the sage flavor coming in. And it is like a divine. It is divine when you're feeling into the mouth. Then when you tell them it was freshly made, freshly canned, and freshly steamed, and the moment the first bite goes into this, they look back at the chef, and the smile says it all, I think. We thought if we can produce something with the wines different than white wine, red wine, rosé everybody drinks normally. Mocktails everybody creates, cocktails everybody creates. And once we started doing the experiments with the wines, then we realized what it can achieve by adding some herb, some elderflowers, some different flavors, and it became such a beautiful, smooth kind of a cocktail. And when I said a cocktail, mocktail, and why not? If we are making with the wines, why not call it a Vintels? That's how the name came about. We try to pair the Vintels, especially with the ravioli, because we thought elderflower, if we do it with a truffle risotto, truffle is already very strong. So we thought, no, let's take it with the ravioli. That's how we brought it with the ravioli. And suddenly, ravioli had only this nutty and sage. So when the people are drinking the Vintel with that, they found the aroma of elderflower and rosemary coming into their mouth later. I think it worked beautifully. Aroma which came first was the elderflower and rosemary coming into the mouth later. And the third was when you're suddenly feeling the cucumber into that. The subtle flavor of the cucumber going into the wine, and that's what made this whole Vintel so beautiful. our connect was that elderflower and she's a beauty. And let's bring out the best in both the words in a different way. The aroma, the bouquet, and everything worked very well with this kind of a cocktail which we wanted to create. And they loved it.